Okay, we are looking at T1 South, better known as Super Bowl at Kicking Horse Mountain Resort. This photograph is taken from the judge's position in a full venue plan A. Technical director has put an X up high at the start, and we can see a rider's left hand boundary set in bamboo in orange. Sometimes we use rope lines and other times just bamboo. Regions have developed differently, and this is typically how this venue would get set here in Western Canada. So if the weather were to blow in and judges could not see from this plan A, judges would go on slope. Hence, the technical director has put in a left hand boundary here, which condenses the venue. Typically, we would see Judge 1 on this rib, Judge 2 a little lower down, and Judge 3 down in the fans. Now, on a wide venue like this, where there could be blind spots, we would put a spotter or a ninja judge over here, picking up any blind spots. So it is imperative that Judge 1 and 2 and 2 and 3 have clear communication and have deliberated boundaries as to where Judge 1 zone ends and Judge 2 begins, and where Judge 2 ends and Judge 3 begins. That way, if an athlete were to say hit a feature like this, air between 1 and 2 and fall, Judge 1 and 2 can discern, okay, who is taking the fall, who is scoring it. That way the athlete does not get scored twice for a fall or an air or a move or whatever it is on the venue. So typically we have Judge 1, Judge 2, and Judge 3. We would usually break this into 3 different venues. You'd have 3 different scores. They would be added together and divided by 3. That is how we take care of split judging on this venue. Now that's taken care of. We've got head judge on venue pre-competition day, and the other judges are looking at the terrain, assessing the conditions, line scores, and essentially scoping the venue, preparing for competition. Venue's in good condition, so the technical director may want to preserve the venue, in which case they may put an inspection line in down the venue. Therefore, on mandatory inspection, all the athletes would stay to the left of the line. Get on venue, assess the conditions, inspect, yet preserve the venue. Now, the judging team is preparing for the event and competition, and doing so by scaling the venue. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, we know that the lowest line score that a rider can score is a 3. And we don't go lower than a 3 because if there are any control issues, falls, multiple falls, we can't go into the negative. A 0.1 is the lowest we can score. So we're saving some room on the bottom end of the judging scale. Now, a 3 could look like riders out of the gate, dropping in through the guts, and no features, keeps it mellow, and we have a low line of 3. Now, a high line. What is the most difficult way down the mountain? That's essentially what we're doing, is we're scaling the venue, assessing the most difficult way down this venue. And we know that that is going to be a 7. It'll be a max of 7 because you can't score more than 3 points higher than the line. If a rider were to score 3 points higher, they would max at a 10. Rider drops in. Maybe they hit this popper right here. It's exposed, clearly. Now, is it a 0.1? Is it a 0.2? Is it a 0.3? How difficult is it? Maybe they cut back, catch a 0.4 here. Would you want to throw a 0.5? Would you be throwing a 0.5, 0.6 on a move like this? How about a double? Rider doubles here. Does it make sense to throw 0.4 to a 0.5 to a 0.6 for this move? If you're linking this move in a clear high-speed double, would the team want to throw a extra 0.1 on it for the link? Would a 1.1 move make sense when scaling this venue? What is the highest we'd want to throw on a feature? Maybe an athlete hits a 0.3 and tees this move up here, 0.6, 0.7. Would we want to go to a 0.8? We are assessing. We also don't want to just get sucked in to cliffs. Features mid-venue are also worthy. 0.3s, maybe 0.4s, 0.2s, 0.1. How difficult is it? One of the riders that we're going to look at here is down into this neighborhood. Now, obviously, we're into some technical terrain here. It's not quite as much skier compaction. How much do we factor the conditions into difficulty of line? It's a little exposed. And what type of numbers in comparison to the center of the venue do we want to be throwing on this far rider's left hand neighborhood of the venue? Some powerful big moves in this neighborhood as well. You can see that orange boundary line is essentially in this part of the venue, leaving this portion of the venue open as well. Scaling, difficulty of line. Now we're going to watch a run and have the opportunity to score a rider and also review the rider's run more in depth. So feel free to pull out an IFSA scorecard or a notepad and pen or pencil. And obviously this is a very different situation than actually being in the pit. So no pressure.
2, 1, drop it in! Yes, 1 minute and 5 minutes and a half and cake. Prisoner 1, Martin, ready? Cross hill towards these far looker's right hand. Features. Martin Lynch. Goes for broke. Creative splash. How will the judges react to a line like that? They must be right here. Look out in the traffic jam now. That was a solid run, Martin.
Seeing as line score is the first numbers that go onto the card, let's review the line. Down the easy in, nice entrance air, clean, cut back, significant feature, little popper through the trees. It was something, it wasn't nothing, but we are in adults, not juniors. How much you want to give it, if anything. Crux moves over the air, significant air, and a significant control issue. How do you want to score it? I dropped my pencil in the snow, so I missed the starter. So I'm going to draw number 1, right, number 1 in the box. And working as a team, by the time the athlete has come through the finish corral, we should have the line score totaled and be writing it down, at least by now. Any shorthand notes? Now is a good time to put them down. I like to remind myself, normally we would speak in numbers right now, but for this training purposes, we won't do that. Saw some excellent control, fluidity, technique, style, and energy until the significant control issue. What did you see? Was it a minor? Was it a minor major? Was it a major? What is a soft fall? Full fall? And based on what you saw, how does it impact the rest of the categories? Now is a good time to have your methodology chart on hand and assessing our current methodology and its function. Take a few more seconds, and now let's review. Athlete on venue. Making good work of the high traverse. Entering first feature. Solid entry, 0.3. Nice cutback. Solid cutback turn. Got the grab. Solid boost, 0.5. 0.8 line all day. Little popper. It wasn't nothing. It was something. But not quite a 0.1. I'll throw a plus on it. 0.8 plus all day. Keeping it moving through the POW. Technical zone. Think about what you'd give him if he didn't hit the air. At least a 0.1 in there. 0.5, 0.6, maybe 0.6 to air. While there was intent to stick, skis are definitely not in the fall line, pointing straight up. Back and butt are clearly down. This to me is not a major issue, but is in the soft fall territory. Riders through the corral. Let's take care of the line score. High traverse. Catches a nice entrance. 0.3. Cutback turn. Solid feature. 0.5. Popper through the trees. Didn't really feel quite like a 0.1, but give it something. Throw the plus on it. Keeps it moving through the POW down to this technical neighborhood. Now consider if he didn't hit the air. Technical zone, got to at least put a 0.1 on it. Could maybe put a 0.1 plus on it. Takes the air, throw a 0.6 on it, and we're a 1.5. If you put a 0.1 plus on that bottom feature, you could easily be 1.6. I see he gets the bump. Line score, 1.6. I think we're a 4 out of the gate. Don't necessarily need to be a 3. Line score, 5.6. Okay, let's score this rider. Start 1, bib and name. Let's say JT for judge training. We have a line score of 5.6. Now, general rule, I would have scored this rider, I'd say somewhere roughly around 2.2 up. So this rider's basically in the general rule of around a 7.8. Now, on the soft fall, our methodology states 1.3 to 1.9 below line score. Another way to say that, I'm going to go deep end 1.9, which means this rider would be around a 3.5 in control. And another way to say or work our deductions moving forward would be to say 4-point deduction. So if he was a 7.8 down to a 5.6, a line score a 3.5 in control, we could roughly say the soft fall in the deep end would be around a 4-point deduction and lose the below line score, which I think could be more practical moving forward. Fluidity, so this is kind of dinging him hard, I'd say. It is a soft fall if everyone determines it or deems it that way. Let's say 4.2. Okay, this is one way to score it. Another way to score it when dealing with adults, which is definitely a discussion I think we need to tackle. He's on the soft fall. He's on the 5.6. Sure, let's ding him hard in control. Let's ding him hard in technique. And then we're dealing with adults. Realistically, how much did that issue hurt his fluidity? Tough call. If we're letting him ride a little bit, how much did that softball affect his style? If we're letting him ride a bit, this athlete either looks like this, or he looks like this, or somewhere in between. What's everybody think? I'm a little more inclined to roll this rider out this way with the second score and look at the whole of the run, start to finish. I know other judges typically would say, you know, you're down, you're out, and compare that run to someone who had 2 falls. I think we need to look at the whole run.
I'm jumping in! This is Liam Piper dropping in. Drop moving. Liam getting a dirty little line there. And on top of his next feature, Dick Denton stomping and riding those tails out into the trees. In the middle of the line, right through the trees, throwing up snow, staying on his feet. Definitely setting the bar high. He's first team well competitive. 3, 2, 1, jumping in! 21-year-old from Vail, Colorado, Jack Nichols dropping in, bid number 152. Fired up by a couple of previous birds in front of him. He's skiing fast over the top. Followed by Noah. If anybody in Vail, Jack Nichols is definitely trying to make it out. He's already at the bottom of the course, coming into that one last jump. Trouble, backlip. Dropping in! From Alpine Meadows, there's Lee O'Brien dropping in. We're going to go right down from the start gate, putting it to the side early, but cleaning up this nice air. Back stop, and we're losing it up over the top of this crowd. The back drop, we're getting in control. And on top of the next feature, the solid air. Just backslapping, unfortunately. Hey, it's Lee O'Brien, though, working his way into the trees. Down up towards the bottom. Red Egg, know you're watching as he comes into this bottom air. With a solid backflip, holding on to it as he comes in the finish crowd. Give it up for bid number 150 from Alpine. The snow, ski fast, taking chances. Right on top of another gnarly feature. And with the exposure, taking things up a notch, get some love from the crowd. Coming in a little Daffy. 31.87 points. He qualified in 23rd place yesterday. This man is in 23rd place. Who the heck are the top 5? Solid line. Building that line score.
Holy shit! Yeah!
Bringing it up a notch. Looking to move up in the standings. This is Matthew Martineau. Wrapping things up for these men snowboarders. That's a dare. Solid top air. Very controlled landing, showing those judges that control they like to see. Seems to be what separates the men from the boys in these contests. No snowboarder, but this run definitely a solid top section. Controlled, fast, fluid, with a couple of big hits. Rolling that bottom end down onto the fan.
Leaving that bottom
feature.
Coming in with a solid run under his belt. Will it be enough for Matthew Martineau to stay on top of the podium?
I would have.
He's here all the way in South America to compete in the 4-star Wrangler Shoot Finals.
Good. Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Aki found a nice line in the dare and working his way towards Lester's Leap. Coming out of there and working his way down Truth. Getting his 360 around off that center pyramid, trying to boost those style and energy points. Sending it through the trees, down towards his bottom last couple of hits. Skylier to cap off his run and give it up for Naki. Again, dropping into the dare. Dare to be different, athletes.
What's up, pal?
Working away down
Pretty good.
towards
How you
Lester's
doing?
Leap.
Oh, no shit. Sweet. I'm hanging out with Wonar. I've been for a little bit.
Fast and
Yeah,
fluid.
you want to spend a lot?
Down. Ooh, sick turn. Running away through these trees. Find a little bit of air off that pyramid. And headed Looker's left down towards these other last couple of cliffs.
Okay. How far up are you?
Softer landing.
See a bit.
Through that chopped up section of the course and off his bottom
Yeah.
feature. Straight air. Into the
Give it up for the
Give it
20-year-old.
Grade number 160, Liam Piper dropping in. This 20-year-old from Whistler, British Columbia. Dale North. He's dropping in fall line from the top. Getting things moving off that cliff. Backslapping slightly, but not hitting the tree, which you know is always in the positive column. And he's off this bottom pyramid. No hesitation from Liam as he scoots his way over into that sun-baked section. Foul line, keeping it all together. One last hit. What's he got for us? 360, stopping it clean. From Big Gambles is Eric Dujardin, grade number 149, dropping in fall line from the top. Making his way down over the exposure. Keying up something here for us. Hesitating, but getting her going. Clean landing as he works his way out and across to that center rib. Getting things done. Finding the wrong spot to land, unfortunately. Dujardin, bid number 149. Find a snow snake. Or maybe just a hollow bit of snowpack. flat landing. But he's still got one more hit for us. With a beautiful sand
Out into the bottom,
into the finish.